Before we get started with this week's episode, I wanted to take a moment to thank everyone who has been making contributions to the Patreon page. I have been honored and overwhelmed by the outpouring of support for this show since its return. So a big thank you to Laura Turner, Janelle, Amalia Larson, Joe Allen, Jessamine Bateman-Lino, Jesus Segura, Ella Dorband, Nicholas Wolf, Adriana Lippi, Matt Campbell, Jeff and Courtney Murray, Denny Atkin, Adrian Sampson, Alice, Anthony DeSimone, Michael Potter, Kai Curtis, Nathan Cox, Daniel Rep, Michael Bentley, Nicholas Wolf, Liz Brammer, and Kay Menzies. Thank you so much for your contributions. Your support makes this show possible. To support the Seattle Files, go to patreon.com/the Seattle Files.
Now that I'm used to the climate, I think that if man ever found a place to live easy and happy, that Eden is on Puget Sound. Eden is on Puget Sound. That Eden is on Puget Sound. A place to live easy and happy. That Eden is on Puget Sound.
Hello, you are listening to the Seattle Files. My name is Chris Allen. I'm your host. On each episode of this podcast, I get together with a different local comedian, and together we discuss the strange, unusual, interesting, and oftentimes lesser-known aspects of our local history. We have just returned after a long hiatus. It is very exciting, very good to be back. Joining me today on the program, though, is Kinzie Shaw. Hey, Kinzie.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, thanks so much for being here.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Excellent.
Yeah,
fantastic. Yeah. Kinzie is an ensemble member in Unexpected Productions down at the Market Theater. She is half of the duo Feelings, which is a queer feminist intersectional improv group.
All the buzzwords.
All the buzzwords, yep. Actually. Want to tell us a little bit about Feelings?
It is myself and my partner in crime, Natasha Ransom, who is a ensemble member down at Jet City Improv, you might be familiar with. Mm-hmm. And so we get together and we wear pajamas and eat dessert or some kind of food on stage and talk about our feelings.
Talk about your feelings.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Very nice. You're also the founder, CEO, and sole employee of Northwest Bark and Call.
Yep.
Where you're your own dog walking business.
My own dog walking business. Got to pay the bills. And probably start a Patreon site after this.
Okay, awesome.
If that doesn't work out. So I do a little bit of dog walking on the side. So if there's anybody that is a dog walker out there that needs a day off, you call me. Okay. And I will take your dogs off your hands for you.
If someone is a dog companion and is looking for somebody to walk their companion dog, right. How would they get a hold of you?
Best way is my Facebook page, Northwest Bark and Call. Mm-hmm. And it has all my contact info on there.
Facebook.com/Northwest Bark and Call?
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Yep.
Very nice. Cool. So how long have you lived in the Northwest, in the Seattle area?
Well, I was actually born here. I was raised in Mill Creek, and then my parents at the age of 6 decided it would be a great idea to move us to Tucson, Arizona.
Was that a good idea?
It was not.
Oh, okay.
It was not a good idea. Mm-hmm. So I have been back and forth on and off my whole life. Most of my family lives in Everett. Mm-hmm. And then I moved back up here as soon as I possibly could, which was about 7 years ago.
Okay.
When I moved back.
Awesome. I did not know that you were from here originally. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, born in Virginia Mason.
Well, I'm learning something today.
Yeah, well, this is the Seattle/Kinzie Files.
Excellent. So you were born in Seattle itself.
In Seattle.
Very nice.
Yep.
Awesome. I was born in Renton.
Oh.
Because that's where my mom's doctor was. So I've always resented her for it. I'm kidding. Love you, Mom. But, so you have no idea what we're going to be talking about today, correct? How much do you know about local history? I mean, you've been here kind of off and on.
More now, thanks to the Seattle Files, but not nearly as much as I should, being a off and on resident of Seattle.
Because you weren't here in 8th grade for the mandatory Pacific Northwest history
class.
I wasn't.
Okay. That was one of my biggest regrets in life. Arizona public school system.
Pretty good life then.
We missed out on a lot, not just Northwest history.
I'll bet.
Being
Yeah. Cool. So you don't know what we're going to be talking about. Let's get started.
Cool.
Bertha Ethel Knight was born October 19th, 1868 in Ware, Massachusetts, to parents Charles Sanford Knight and Cordelia Cutter. Bertha was the youngest of 9 children.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Catholic?
I'm not sure, actually, but that wouldn't surprise me.
A name like Bertha.
Bertha?
I mean...
The Saint Bertha?
Yeah. She's the patron saint.
Of...
9 children.
Yeah. That's... Bertha's father, Charles Knight, was a veteran of the Union Army.
Okay.
Fighting for the North. 1873, Bertha and her family moved to Worcester, Massachusetts, and later, Bertha attended Indiana University, where she graduated with a degree in political science in 1891.
Bertha and I have something in common.
You have a degree in political science?
I do!
Oh,
Guess what I do with it? I walk dogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
She later got a job as a dog walker. No, that's not.
I really like Bertha.
Yeah. After graduating from Indiana University, she taught at the Classical High School back in her hometown of Worcester, Massachusetts. Classical high schools were public magnet schools that focused on individual subjects rather than a general curriculum.
Like a hippie school?
Something like that.
Just study whatever your heart wants you to study?
Less a hippie school and more like a strict school, like an anti-hippie school.
Got it.
So you're gifted in math. We're going to send you to do 12 hours of math a day.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All
so
right.
less Montessori, more like a Catholic
school.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
After 3 years of teaching, Bertha Knight became Bertha Knight Landes after marrying geologist Henry Landes, whom she had met while attending Indiana University. Henry had finished at Indiana and then went to Harvard, where he gained his master's in geology. They had 3 children by birth and 1 adopted. So, went to Harvard, 4 kids.
That rocks.
Yeah.
You can edit that out, right?
Sorry.
That was a geology joke? You can edit it out later.
That was solid.
Cool,
No,
cool.
that's
gonna be a great
the
episode.
meat and potatoes of this, is geology puns. Don't take them for granted.
No. Get out.
Yeah.
God.
Their second child, Robert, died in infancy.
Oh.
Yeah. Their oldest daughter, Catherine, had surgery at 9 years old to reduce the size of her tonsils.
Was this the adopted one?
No.
Okay.
No, this was their oldest daughter by birth.
Okay.
She was given chloroform as an anesthetic and never regained consciousness. So only their biological children, only their youngest son, Kenneth, lived. A couple of years later, after Catherine's death, the Landes adopted 9-year-old Viola, which was not... Infant mortality was real high.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Okay. That shocks me.
Which is also one of the reasons people had a lot of kids.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Don't get it right the first time, you get it right the 18th time.
Oh, yeah.
You can edit that out, too.
In 1895, Henry got a job on the University of Washington faculty, and the family moved 3,000 miles away to Seattle, Washington. So they're here now. And Henry would later go on to become the dean of the College of Sciences at UW.
And what year was this?
1895.
1895, okay.
While in Seattle, Landes was active in women's organizations, including the Women's University Club, the Women's Century Club, and the Women's Auxiliary of University Congregational Church.
Yes, queen! Yes, you did!
She's getting involved in the community.
Getting involved.
Landes was a proud suffragette. Women had been granted the right to vote in Washington in 1883, only to have the right rescinded in 1888.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's totally fair.
Your tone is making me think that you don't think that's fair. No, it's a real fucked up story. If you want to learn more about check out the episode on women's suffrage. There's a whole episode about that. It's messy. It's bad.
It's still messy, Chris.
It is, yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am in agreement with you on that. Yeah. Suffrage was permanently adopted, though, in Washington State on November 8th, 1910. So suffrage was passed 52,299 votes to 29,676. Washington became the 5th state to grant rights to vote to women. Wyoming became the first. Wyoming. Yeah, Wyoming. Wyoming became the first state in 1869.
You know, isn't it called the what's its thing? Like Florida's like the Sunshine State. There's something that I just learned about Wyoming that's like the
Teton State?
No, it's something like we were the first state, like the Freedom State or something like that. Now I'm talking out of my ass. But it makes sense because I learned something else really surprising that Wyoming did regarding like civil rights or something like that. And I'm like, out of all the fucking states.
What was it?
I can't remember. I was listening to another podcast.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You were listening.
I'm sorry.
Kinzie.
I don't want to say anything more about it. We'll get back to you, Bertha. Bertha?
Bertha,
Okay,
yeah.
Bertha.
Yeah, so Wyoming, then Colorado, Utah, and Idaho.
They're hitting all the cylinders.
Yeah, isn't that? It doesn't. You wouldn't think that today.
No.
That they would have been the first ones to adopt, but it's
in Utah.
Frontier, Utah.
I mean, they all really took a turn for the worst after that.
Yeah. Landis became the president of the Washington chapter of the League of Women Voters when it formed in 1920.
Is that like the League of Men?
It is maybe
better.
What is the League of Men?
Isn't the League of Men the Sean Connery movie about the superheroes?
That's the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Excuse me. I was casual here. I didn't want to use any kind of fancy words.
Mm-hmm.
The League of Men. Okay.
The League of Extraordinary
It's the
Gentlemen.
same thing as what you're talking about.
So the League of Women Voters is different because the League of Women Voters was good.
Oh, okay.
So as opposed to League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which was the last movie Sean Connery made.
Well,
that's
what happens when you send Sean Connery to do a woman's job.
Oh yeah, hey. Yeah, I'm looking at you, entrapment. August 18th, 1920. League of Women Voters was and still is an American civic organization formed to help women take a larger role in public affairs. Its original goal was to support what were the new women's suffrage rights. Okay. So women get the right to vote. They form this coalition. They say, let's get as many women as we can educated. Let's support the new rights. Push it forward, make it happen.
Like, hey, ladies, I just wanted to sit down and have a little chat about our rights.
Sorry, is this a bad time?
Sorry. Just get back to me when you have time.
I think that they're Canadian.
Sorry.
So August 18th, 1920, 6 months after the League of Women Voters was established, the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution passed, quote, prohibiting states and the federal government from denying the right to vote to citizens of the United States on the basis of sex.
God bless.
Yeah. So women across the land, as long as they are white, are now
caught up with
Wyoming,
which is the first and last time someone said that.
Yeah. Native Americans couldn't vote unanimously until, I think, 1924.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's another episode.
That is another episode, yeah. But 1920, women's suffrage passes in the United States. I just hit myself.
I was going to let it go, but if you want to bring it up, Chris just hit himself with his pen.
I was gesticulating wildly, and I whacked myself in the headphones, so, yeah. Okay. That's why this is a podcast and not a vlog, because I do stuff like that.
That's good. I'm glad I'm the only one that gets to see that.
1921, the president of the Seattle Federation of Women's, as president of the Seattle Federation of Women's Club, Landis orchestrated a week-long women's educational exhibit for Washington manufacturers. The exhibit was staffed by more than 1,000 club women, and it bolstered the spirits of the business community during a time of severe recession. So he's doing all of this community organizing. Mm-hmm. Super involved in civic life.
She's busy.
Busy, yeah.
Busy girl.
Real involved in public duty.
Okay.
Big on public duty. The same year, Landis was appointed by the Seattle mayor to serve on a commission studying unemployment, and Landis was the only woman in the 5-member commission. So she's getting her hand into politics now. Using that poli-sci degree.
Using it. Mm-hmm. Using it before you lose it, Bertha girl.
1922, Landis organized the Women's Civic League, which was later renamed the Women's City Club. The goal of the club was to educate women about local, state, national, and world politics. And in 1 year, the club had over 500 members.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's just real into the community organizing.
Just working it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of her. I really hope this... no, I'm not going to
What do you hope? What do you hope?
I hope that Bertha is consistently as amazing as you're leading up to. Mm-hmm. And I hope she doesn't do like a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and just turn bad.
And just become shitty. Mm-hmm. And be like, we've got a giant submarine for no reason.
I've made a mistake, you guys. I've been talking to my husband. I think he's got a lot of good points. Yeah. And maybe we should just rethink this whole thing.
You know what? I think the boys should be in charge.
Yeah!
No, I don't think so. I don't think she's going to do that.
Okay, cool.
Fortunately. So, 1922, Landis decides to run for Seattle City Council. Yeah. She and Catherine Miracle both became the first women to serve on the city council. So 1922. Miracle.
It's in the name.
A miracle.
In the name.
Mm-hmm. So Bertha Knight Landes and Catherine Miracle are elected to the Seattle City Council. When she was running, her husband Henry said, quote, "It's simply the natural enlargement of her sphere. Keeping house and raising a family are women's logical tasks, and in principle, there is no difference between running one home and running 100,000.
Oh! I mean, that was pretty woke.
Pretty woke for the time.
For the time.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you read it today, and it's like, oh, how do I feel about this?
I mean... that's why I said it was woke for the time.
Yeah.
The fact that he's letting his woman out of the house at all at this point, I'm on board with her husband. And the fact that he's like, yeah, it's the same as, it's like our kitchen is just the size of Seattle, basically. And Bertha's just barefoot and going to work.
There's slums down there. She cleaned our bathroom. She'll clean up the slums.
Same, but different.
Same, but different.
Exactly,
yeah. In 1924, 2 years after Landes's re-election to the city council, she became the city council president. Moving up, making it happen.
Good for her.
During 1924, Landes was acting mayor for a short period, while Mayor Edwin J. Doc Brown had to leave town to attend the 1924 Democratic National Convention, as 1924 was an election year.
Right. Good old DNC.
So we had a mayor named Doc Brown. For one thing.
I was gonna say it, and I was like,
yeah.
Is it 2 words? Is it 1 word? Brown?
It's Doc. Doc is in parentheses.
Oh, okay.
So Edward J. quote unquote Doc Brown.
Brown. Okay.
He was a dentist.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as a dentist, he went
very
by doctor.
exciting.
Had to have a dentist as a...
No, just Doc Brown. Doc Brown in our history.
Right.
That's very, very exciting.
Yeah. He was complicit with bootleggers. It was a whole,
awesome.
he was, yeah. So Calvin Coolidge won that year, just in case you were wondering. While Mayor Brown was away, Landes was angry at the political corruption and lawless activity she saw in the city at the time. So Landes fired Police Chief William B. Severance.
So she's just like making shit happen while she's in here for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
She's like, all right. I got some corners. I got some corners to clean. I got some wood panels to oil. I'm going to clean up house.
There are rats in the kitchen. I'm going to get my BB gun.
That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, she fired the police chief because he was ignoring prohibition and began a new law and order campaign. She started closing down illegal activities throughout Seattle. She started shutting down the lotteries, the punch boards, and the speakeasies.
Buzz kill for the Seattle city.
Yeah.
But awesome for her.
Yeah, awesome for her.
So happy for her.
Yeah, but she's shutting down the bars.
Yeah, well,
so alcohol's illegal.
You gotta do what you gotta do, girl.
Yeah, she's really involved with the Prohibition Party. Really, that's actually one of the biggest arguments against suffrage was because suffrage and prohibition were viewed as the same thing. Suffrage and prohibition were viewed as basically if we let women vote, then they'll take away our alcohol.
It's the equivalent to if we let gays get married, what's next? We marry our dogs. It's that same dumb logic that they're not related.
Kind of. I agree with you that that's not related.
Yes.
But I think at the time it was related.
That women will take away their alcohol like Bertha did.
That's
right.
what the women suffragists were overwhelmingly in support of prohibition.
Well, yeah, because their husbands were all drunks and not letting them get out of the house.
Oh, that's true.
So that makes sense. I retract my previous statement. Women, we're going to take away your booze. We'll put the men to work. Get some real shit done.
The revolution is starting now.
Today, 1924.
1924, yeah. So she fires the police chief. She is trying to clean up the city. And after Brown returned in July of 1924, he reinstated the police chief that Landes fired.
He's like, JK, takes his backsies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's like, no, I'm the mayor. You don't get to do that.
Sorry.
So in 1926, Brown ran for another term, and Landes ran against him.
Good for her.
Ran against him as mayor.
I'll fucking show you.
Yeah, she ran on the platform of municipal housekeeping. that was her platform.
Was that the first time someone used a platform that was like that? Municipal housekeeping?
Municipal housekeeping? I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so, yeah.
Coined that term, did she?
I believe she did.
God.
Yeah.
Mover and a shaker, this woman.
Making it happen,
yeah.
Yeah, because her whole, you know how people have their slogans or their metaphors that they use, and hers was like, I clean my house at home, I'll clean this city's house.
Woke for the time.
Woke for the time, yeah. That's I think you're coining that right now.
It's copyrighted.
Yeah. So municipal house cleaning to convince voters that change was needed in Seattle government, which at the time was tainted with corruption. And Landes won. She won the election in a landslide with more than 6,000 votes. She became not just the first female mayor of Seattle, but also the first female mayor of any major American city in the United States.
How big was Seattle at this time?
Seattle at this time, this is 1926, I want to say about 350,000 people.
It's like 6,000 votes is like...
It's close.
Yeah.
But at the same time, about 100,000 people show up to vote.
Right. I know what I'm saying. Like, 6,000 votes is like, for the time, like, voting for the first woman mayor. Like, that's awesome.
She won by it was not a close election. She won by a sizable amount.
That's rad.
Yeah. She got it. And she became
no hanging chads there.
No hanging chads.
No hanging chads.
You know why? Because it's a clean house.
And you know... Get out.
Yeah, no, I'm gone. I'll just be a stone's throw away. It's, the historic election made big news. The New York Times reported in March 1926, quote, "She does not wear short skirts, bob her hair, or smoke cigarettes. Therefore, she did not represent the new woman of the time." Yeah.
I mean...
That's maybe not woke for the time.
No, it's not. It's not, but I'm just picturing her, like... just like Bertha homemaker, getting shit done, cares nothing what anyone has to say. If you're a cool new wave feminist suffragette coming up telling me to smoke cigarettes and drink my drinks, go fuck off. I'm Bertha. I'm your mayor now.
Yeah.
Just gives no fucks.
Yeah, no fucks.
Yeah,
no fucks at all. He's like, I am in charge.
Yeah, I'm not changing my haircut for anybody. No, I'm keeping it.
I'm not a new woman. I'm my own woman.
Guess what? Bobs don't work for everybody. Maybe I don't want a bob.
I don't even know what a bob is.
Well, it doesn't. It's bad for a round face. So if Bertha had a round face, I stand by her decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What is a bob?
A bob is like Catherine Zeta-Jones in Chicago. Like the hair cuts off.
The flapper haircut thing.
Yeah. So it cuts off at the chin.
Okay.
It's not the look for everybody.
Okay.
You know, it's a very, like, there's a certain kind of woman that can wear that look.
Not for everybody.
They're not for everybody.
Landes went straight to work when she elected mayor, calling on good citizens to blow the whistles on bootleggers, and offered $1 a year to those who pledged to report reckless drivers.
$1 a year?
$1 a year.
Whew!
Yeah.
I would do that now. I would do that now in a heartbeat. $1 a year.
Yeah.
Do it for a solid 12 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have a nice dinner.
Yeah.
At Denny's. In 12 years, maybe not. But right. Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows what the inflation will lead to?
Yeah.
Like $80
at least in 5 years, I can get a good,
And you would be a great asset walking dogs every day out there.
Oh, making money for free, basically. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. But you see a lot of
reckless drivers
out there. Shaking your fist at she instructed the police force to see that regulations for dance halls and cabarets were enforced. So just cracking down on booze.
Yeah.
A lot of booze flowing through. One big accomplishment that is still physically recognizable in Seattle is the Seattle Opera House. So she spearheaded the creation of the Seattle Opera House, at the time named the Civic Auditorium and now named McCaw Hall.
Immaculate.
I mean,
I walked through there with a white glove.
Yeah.
Came out better than I was when I went in.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how clean it is.
Wow.
I mean,
the glove or just you in general came out better than... Yeah.
All of it.
Cool. In 1928, Landes ran for a second term as mayor. Landes was endorsed by newspapers, the Central Labor Council, the Prohibition Party, and multiple women's organizations.
So, during her first term, does it say anything about how... Because obviously she's making shit happen. Yeah. She got voted in by a landslide. Yeah. But she's cleaning up all house, so she's obviously pissing people off.
Oh, yeah.
So, how was she like... How we view Ed Murray now? Or is she... Like, what was her approval rating? Like, was she generally... liked for the most part?
She would have been liked by the progressives, but she would have not been liked by the business folks. Because they view booze and prostitution as a way of bringing business in.
And they are correct.
Yeah, they're correct about that.
Just money.
Yeah, so she would have been very, very popular with people who wanted reform, who wanted to clean up the city, and with the closed city advocates, and she would have been very unpopular with the open city advocates.
How close was she to the time when Drumpf was here? Way too late?
Drumpf, she would have come after Friedrich Drumpf.
Because I know he was a big whorehouse
supporter.
Supporter.
Let's see here. He became a citizen in, I want to say, 1892. But he went to the Gold Rush, which was in 97. I don't remember. Yeah, she would have. This would have been later.
Yeah,
this would have been.
He wouldn't have been in town.
He would have been. I think he actually died in 1926, if I'm remembering correctly. So he would have already gone through his whole. He went back to Germany and then moved to New York. Right. And So this would have been later.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she would not have been able to give him the boot.
That was mainly me just trying to sound smart and how many episodes I've listened to and how much Seattle history I know.
Yeah.
So that was more for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty close to about 20 years, 25 years difference. It's interesting because I think people, and I myself am certainly guilty of that, think of kind of the past as one time period.
Totally.
Which is very easy to do.
Yeah.
When I was giving tours and I would tell stories about things that arced over 50 years, or over the course of the tour, we talk about things that happened over 50 years. People would say, like, well, what was money worth at that time? I'm like, what time? What time? Because this is a massive, but thinking of
like a Thursday?
Everything before about 1940 is all the same.
Yeah, it's
time.
all the same.
Yeah,
because our brains would explode if we try to open it up and take it all in and think of it as like 50 separate years.
Yeah. Don't do that.
My brain works too hard already.
Mm-hmm. Despite the endorsements and past accomplishments, there was a popular sentiment that Seattle should have, quote, a man in charge.
Of course. Yeah. Of course.
Her opponent was Frank Edwards, who was a political unknown and a former theater operator. He dodged every debate with Landes leading up to the election.
Okay, so it sounds so familiar. So a guy is running against a woman who has no political experience whatsoever. And super charismatic. Mm-hmm. And answers questions by saying nothing.
A highly qualified woman who has spent her life in public service is
kicking ass in public service.
Years and years of community organizing, and done absolutely everything she can, breaking barriers, working in multiple different fields.
Just shattering ceilings left and right.
Yeah, is now running up against a man who has not worked in politics before.
Cool.
Who doesn't want to debate.
Awesome. So so history. That's
cool.
History. It's cool. This would be nice if we learned history, then maybe then we could see
repeat it. Oh, you mean not repeat it?
No, to repeat it.
Oh, to repeat it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's everything comes around again.
Seriously.
Everything comes around again. During one debate, Edwards did not attend.
Of course he did.
So they scheduled debates and he didn't show up. The New York Times reported that Landes sat on a platform accompanied by an empty chair, gestured to the chair. Yeah.
So she showed up. And she's like, this is happening with or without you.
Yes.
That is the most badass thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. She gestured to the chair and said, quote, "Can it be true that a man is afraid of a woman?" Yeah.
Is the microphone picking up snaps?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. The snaps of approval.
Good for you, Bertha.
Yeah. But March 13th, 1928, Landes was defeated by Frank Edwards by a vote of 59,000 to 40,000, which was a record turnout.
Chris.
Yeah.
I want to cry.
I know.
My blood is boiling.
I know.
And my head is light. That's That's eerie how similar those two moments in history are.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts, the parallels.
Mm-hmm.
Edwards would be reelected in 1930, but then would be recalled by the voters for corruption.
Oh, God. Can history repeat itself,
we'll see if this continues along the same path. He was basically taking kickbacks from utility organizations. If you want to learn more about that, check out the episode on Marian Zajanczek. It's a real boring political scandal. But it's one of those that what you're doing is real fucked up, but nobody really understands what it is that you're doing.
Right.
So
they can't catch
people are kind of like, what is it? He fired the head of public utilities, J.D. Ross, and was trying to there was a big thing between public and private power back then.
And most people are like, I'm confused, just let him keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly. So he ended up being recalled.
Okay.
But it's as far as it's a significant political scandal, but it is far from sexy.
I love a good stale scandal.
Yeah, good.
I love those.
A good milk toast.
It makes me sleep so good at night.
A warm glass of milk of a scandal.
Just lukewarm. Room temperature.
Landis attributed her defeat primarily to her opponent's lavish campaign budget and to, quote, sex prejudice.
Chris, are you making this up?
I am not making this up. This is all a thing that happened.
Are you doing this just to hurt me?
I'm not doing this to hurt you, no. No. I do a lot of things to hurt you,
I know
but not
you do.
this.
Not
this
one.
one.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
all right.
This is,
So, okay.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
But after losing the election, Landis remained very involved in politics.
Good for her.
Yeah. Between 1928 and 1930, Landis became the first woman to serve as a moderator of the Washington Conference of Congregational and Christian Churches.
Okay, well.
Which is a thing.
Lost me a little bit there, Bertha, but I appreciate you. Appreciate you doing what you do.
Yeah. Also during this time, Landis was elected as president of the Seroptimists. It's an
Sriracha Sister Foundation?
Close.
Okay.
Close.
That was a good guess.
Yeah, no, that was,
yeah.
I'm sure she likes sriracha.
I mean, she's a fiery woman.
Yeah.
Her blood is made of 50% sriracha. It would make sense.
Yes.
That she would be a part of that organization.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, the Seroptimists are an international group that work to improve the lives of women and girls throughout the world. And they're still around.
Really?
They're still around.
Oh, now I feel bad for making fun
of
them.
The Seroptimists.
I didn't make fun of you, Seroptimists. Your name kind of sounded like sriracha.
I've not heard of them either before this story. But I looked them up.
S-U-R, Seroptimists?
S-O-R-O. P-T-I-M-I-S-T-S. So, I think it's a cross between sorority and optimist. Like a sorority of optimists.
Got it.
Soroptimists.
Well, that's basically what a sorority is.
Yeah,
just a ton of optimists
Except
drinking and
Claire.
passing out. Except for Claire. Fuck Claire.
Fuck Claire.
She never pays her pledge dues.
Yeah, seriously.
God.
We don't all want to clean up your dirty dishes, Claire.
Tanner's always sleeping over.
Oh, my God, Tanner.
I can't tell you how many times to talk to Claire about this.
Seriously, he uses all the hot water and it drives me crazy.
And he leaves just the last bit of orange juice, but just enough for it to not be empty.
Yeah.
But he just leaves it in there.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to be the person that drinks the last of the orange juice. But guess what? You did, Tanner.
Guess what, Tanner? I pay my fucking dues.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah. You should say that to Claire.
I never see her.
No, yeah. No, she's not around.
She's never around. She lives with Tanner.
Her parents are splitting up. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
Well, maybe I'll talk to her next week.
So the Seroptimists. Seroptimists, but still around. Yeah, look, they do a lot of great philanthropic work and improve the lives of women and girls throughout the world.
All right.
During the 1930s, Landis was chair of the Sewing Room Work for Women's Division of the Mayor Commission for Improved Employment.
Who is raising her kids? Who is, while she's doing all this work?
Her kids are grown.
Oh, remember how that time you were talking about, how the past is all one time?
Mm-hmm.
All this time, Mr. Past, and I'm thinking her children are still children?
No, her kids, this is in the 1920s, and
Almost,
Yeah, so
they're big kids now.
Yeah, her kids were born in the 1890s, so they'd be in their 30s, or they passed away.
Oh, most likely probably passed at the time.
Well, the younger ones passed, but
back to the Seroptimists.
Back to the Seroptimists, yeah. So Landis oversaw 673 women who sewed garments for women and children to help improve the unemployment situation. So she's basically hosting this charity sewing clothing drive for the needy.
And how old is she right now?
She would be...
I'm sorry, you told me when she was born.
Yeah, 1868. I did not retain that information either. Yeah. So 32, so she would be 50... she'd be in her 50s at this point.
Is what I thought,
well,
too.
This is 1930s is where we are now. So, so she'd be in her 50s.
There's no retirement in sight for Bertha.
No.
She's just, gonna work till the day she dies.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm
ready to retire now. She's done more work in her 50 years than I will do in my 50 years, for sure.
I was ready to retire day one of my first job. I was like, is this, how long do I have to do this?
Awful!
Forever?
Claire, did you know it was going to be this bad?
Oh, Claire knew.
Claire knew.
Claire knew.
Didn't tell us.
Well, Tanner took a message and told it to Claire, but then they threw it in the garbage instead of leaving it on the counter like the policy is. Ugh.
Fucking kill Claire.
Claire. Oh. So from 1933 to 1936, Landes and her husband led student groups sponsored by the University of Washington to the Far East. So it took them to Asia.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Traveling abroad now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And her husband's been working at UW this whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the dean of the College of Sciences.
Cool.
1936, Landes' husband passed away.
Oh.
Yeah. Following his death, she agreed to lead the tour alone for one more summer.
God damn.
So she goes by herself as a woman with a bunch of students.
Fuck you, I'm taking over Asia.
Yeah.
I'm cleaning house.
Yeah, cleaning house.
Guess what, Asia?
Mm-hmm.
We're bringing napkins. We're bringing forks.
Yeah.
Getting rid of those rice bowls.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing in steak and potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how feminists talk back then.
Is that okay,
yeah.
Cool.
I realize how unwoke this this podcast episode is making me sound like, but it's more satirical just for the viewers out there, the listeners and the viewers. Okay.
I think it's coming across. Yeah.
Good? Okay, good.
You're not the one who hit yourself in the head with a pen earlier.
They can't see me, I can see you.
Yeah. After that summer, Landes' health began to fail as well. She curbed her public activities, but continued to live independently at the Wilsonian Hotel in Seattle's University District, which is still there. It's an apartment complex now.
Where in the U District is that?
It is over by, not quite over on above 45th.
Okay.
Like between I-5 and the Ave, which is a fairly large area, but it's it's over by the movie theater, the Sundance Cinema. Yeah, it's over by there.
Cool. So just like living on her own, no kids.
Yeah, in a hotel. Kids are grown.
Widow.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Taking students over to
Asia.
Mm-hmm. Killing it.
Yeah. 1941, Landes moved to Pacific Palisades in California, west of Los Angeles. 1943, she moved to her son's home in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And on November 29th, 1943, Landes passed away at age 75 in her son's home.
Oh.
And she's currently interned at Evergreen Washelli Memorial Park in Seattle.
She's here?
She's here.
Oh, now I gotta go. I gotta go see it now. Yeah. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's so badass.
It's the graveyard up on Aurora, up north Aurora. You
know what? In my dog walking business, I drive by there all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm making a pit stop one of these days.
You should. Take the dogs out there.
I won't take the dogs
out there. That's probably not a good idea, actually. As I was saying it, I realized, that's not good. Don't take dogs to a cemetery. That's...
Not that one, anyway.
It's never come up for me.
Well,
so
you never know. You gotta live your life.
That's true, yeah.
Just throw service vests on all of them.
The largest meeting room at Seattle City Hall is named in Landes' honor. And still to this day, Landes remains Seattle's only female mayor. She's the only mayor.
Is that truth?
That is truth.
We have not had a female mayor?
We had not had one before, and we have not had one since. Bertha Knight Landes is the only female mayor of Seattle.
In Seattle?
Yes.
Seattle?
In Seattle.
Listen to me, Seattle. We have to get our shit together. That is unacceptable.
Yeah.
That is unacceptable.
That's very surprising, isn't it?
That is so surprising.
One woman mayor, one black mayor.
Well, I mean...
is in our history.
Hopefully we'll have a new one coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really surprising.
That, out of all of those shocking things you read me, that might be by far the most shocking.
Yeah. They also named Bertha the tunnel boring machine after her.
Is that what it's named after?
That's what it's named after,
oh.
Yeah. Big Bertha.
Seattle, we gotta give her something other than that.
Other than the big machine that doesn't fucking work.
That drills a hole and is not working.
The thing we voted against, but we're doing it anyway.
Seattle, we have to give Bertha her dues. We cannot let that be her legacy.
Yeah. Well, the Opera House is still up. But it's not named after her.
No.
If it was named the Bertha Knight Landes Opera House, that'd be pretty fucking cool.
I feel like it would just help generate business.
Yeah.
Bertha, that is an opera name if I've ever
Oh,
heard
yeah.
of. Bertha?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. Is that something that everyone knew that Bertha was named after, and I'm just now realizing it?
Not everyone, but so Big Bertha has always been just a thing that people call something that's big.
Yeah.
But officially, it is named after Bertha Knight Landes.
Oh.
I don't know how many people know that.
Well, they know now.
I've read it in I think I read it in the Seattle Times or something like that a while ago in passing, but I read it somewhere a while back.
I always just thought it was just a...
Because Big Bertha.
Yeah, because Big Bertha.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bertha Knight Landes.
Bertha Knight Landes.
She was the Ruth Bader Ginsburg of the Seattle mayors.
Yeah, kind of.
Uh-huh.
Contemporary of Susan B. Anthony.
Yeah.
Breaking barriers.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
She lived till 75. That's cool.
Yeah. Amazing woman.
Good
Amazing
for her.
person.
Good for her.
Mm.
You lived to 75 because she didn't drink.
That's true.
See?
Yeah.
No smoking, no drinking, no bobs. That's the secret to life.
No bobs.
No bobs.
Bobs.
That will just cut your lifespan in half.
Mm-hmm.
Getting those bob haircuts.
Yeah. Is anybody that had a bob in the 20s still alive today?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of either.
So it means no.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
Chris, you know I know a lot of people.
I know you know a lot of people.
I know pretty much everybody.
I've been around you, and there are people around, and they're like, yeah, I know Kinzie.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening to the Seattle Files. Thank you so much, Kinzie, for being
Chris,
here.
thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. If you have a topic suggestion you'd like to hear an episode about, shoot me an email at theseattlefiles@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook, subscribe and rate in iTunes, and if you are able to, make a contribution at patreon.com/the Seattle Files.
Just kidding.
If not, that's no problem as well. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with a new topic and a new guest. Speak with a new topic and a new guest. Speak with a new topic and a new guest. Speak with a new topic and a new guest. Speak with a new topic and a new guest.